Live and uninterrupted, this is BBC One.
Strikes 10, the poll's closed. We can give you the results of our exit poll. We've spoken to 14,000 people in 200 constituencies tonight, and we hope they've been telling us the truth. There it is, 10 o'clock, and we say Tony Blair is to be Prime Minister and a landslide is likely.
The Conservatives are the largest party.
Police, I thought that it was what the old-timers used to call cabin fever. Kind of claustrophobic reaction which can occur when people are shut in together over long periods of time.
Get your motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way.
This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me.
Time passes. Listen. Time passes. Come closer now. Only you can hear the houses sleeping in the streets in the slow, deep, salt and silent, black, banded night.
Hey, life, look at me. I can see the way outside. But when you shook me, took me out of my world, I woke up. Suddenly I just woke up. 'Cause I had a when you
Cancer breakthrough. Well, everything's shit. The weather's shit, summer's shit. Conservatives are back in power, that's shit. I haven't got my car back yet. I haven't had it since February, that's shit. Because of that, I've been getting bouts of cabin fever now and again. Of course, that's shit. So it looks like pretty much everything is shit. But it's not. And the reason it's not is because, like Diana Ross and the Supremes, I've discovered the happening. Now with them, it's about relationship split. Now this is one of these experiences where you think everything that's going on when you break up with someone is the worst thing ever and there's nothing good about the experience and so on and so forth. And it's only when you come out of it that you realise just how worthwhile the experience has been. You understand more about yourself, about other people, about situations and so on and so forth. You've developed and you've become like someone else, ideally a new improved person. And there's a number of experiences in life that are like this. Now, the problem with our culture is that a lot of us just go, when we're faced with something like that, go running to some sort of supposed medical solution, instead of going through this process and really benefiting from it. And basically I've been thinking around that, doing a lot of thinking around that, and the crux of it to me seems to be, and a lot of people that I've come across have a similar idea to this sort of thing, and that is that it's all around something I've mentioned before, which is getting a better understanding of yourself, your environment, and the relationship between the two. Now, like I say, I've been working a lot on that. I'm about 40% through it, through what I want to do, to cover the basic sort of thing. It'll be about a year before I've completed that, because I'm taking it nice and slow, absorbing stuff, thinking around it, and so on. But even now, some of the benefits of increased awareness, a greater sense of consciousness, if you want to put it in I don't know, airy-fairy ways. But it's yeah, you just get a greater sense of awareness, and you're more content. You get this sense of contentment that's deeper than what you get with something like positive psychology, which doesn't really cover all the angles that this approach that I'm working on does. Now, it could be down to a number of things that I've done this, but basically, like when I was at university, and about 4.5 years ago I finished now, and basically I was going through a lot of shit then, but then the shit continued, and university hadn't been the life-changing experience that I'd hoped it would be this time. So the benefits really didn't come into play. It like sort of sowed the seeds for benefits further down the line, and maybe age comes into that as well. So which may imply that this is a different language for younger people, sort of thing, and yet older people may understand where I'm coming from with this. But like, you get to the stage where you've got that much shit in your life that you just get a shit overload, and you just stop. You just apply the brakes, and you stop, and you think, there's got to be something wrong in my approach. I'm doing things wrong. And not only that, I'm doing things wrong in a environment that isn't ideal. You know, the two do tend to go together, and there's an interplay between influences and the self, and so on and so forth. But anyway, the point being, you get to this stage where you can't take any more shit, so you make changes. Ideally, you make changes, because that process with relationship splits applies in a number of different areas. They're happening. And one of the things I'm hoping to do when I finish the groundwork, which will take about another year, is how to communicate this, because I look around me, I'll go in the different places and look online and some of the online social networks, and there's a thing when you do this stuff, that when you've completed it and left it a bit, it kind of becomes like common sense to you then, and then you sort of lose track that not everyone's learnt this stuff, not everyone's been lucky enough to be able to learn this stuff. You know, it does take, you know, you do have to ask questions of yourself that maybe you don't want to ask, questions of your environment that the environment doesn't want asked, sort of thing. So it can be a tough experience and a difficult thing to pull off. But like I say, looking at some of the stuff, and I'm as guilty of this as anyone, that you get on Facebook and Twitter, it's just like, some of it's just like mind-numbingly crap. It just points to the fact that people are limiting themselves, and they're not only limiting themselves, but they're letting their environment limit them as well. Now, this isn't just, like I say, this isn't just popular psychology stuff. You know, it goes beyond that. It's deeper than that, and really, you can take it as far and as deep and as wide as you want. It's like the sky's the limit with this stuff. But how am I going to translate that? You know, I don't really need to, but it seems to me, doing something like this, it would be good to have some sort of outlet for it. Just you know, whether I don't know, whether that's just a series of videos, a website, a book, pamphlet, a series of pamphlets, whatever. Maybe set up some classes or something. But you know, like I say, you can go as far wide and deep as you like with this, and the places I'm taking it and some of the diversions that have come along are quite interesting. Now, I've got a story to tell, haven't we all? But the danger with doing stuff like this is that you tell your story, like this vanity project, rather than your story being illustrative. Like I say, it's more of a vanity project, and I want to avoid that. But like I say, some of the stuff that I'm hitting is really interesting, and it's obvious that quite a few people would benefit. But this is where these things fall apart. A lot of people don't want to benefit. A lot of people, limited by themselves and their environment, don't want to go and increase their awareness. Is that true? I don't think it is. Basically, I think that people have been limited in such a way that they convince themselves that they don't want to try anything new. And they would, in some instances, rather run to a supposed medical solution in times of crisis than think their way through it with a systematic approach. Now, like I say, you still get your moments where these things don't work, but you're always learning. That's one of the beauties of it, and you're always sort of learning new things that do open up more possibilities for increasing your awareness. But it's getting that across, and that's what I'm going to be thinking about while I'm doing all this as well. That's basically all I'm doing. It's like I haven't had much choice. I've been stuck in the house, like I say, with bouts of cabin fever now and again, but coping with it pretty well. Should get my car licence back soon. I'm still getting injections in my eyes, but again, it's happening. It's like, you know,